Oh, finally. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay, my name is Tanyaradzwa Chinherera. But you can call me Tanya because Tanyaradzwa might sound all long and boring. Anyway, I'm a young girl who's really passionate in helping kids with a very low self-esteem and the less privileged, of course, by way of helping them discover and nurture their talent. And let me say it wasn't easy coming up with such an idea and putting it into action, of course. I had to push odds, I had to push obstacles, and mostly, I had to push myself. I was once a victim of a very bad and low self-esteem. And one of the reasons why it was like that was because I used to make so many mistakes. I remember one time, growing up in a country like Zimbabwe, we used to experience a lot of power cuts. And one morning I wake up, the lights were already been switched off. So I used a candle to light up my room. And I did my usual morning routine. And then I went to school, leaving the candle burning. And when I came home in the afternoon, I saw smoke coming from the chimney. And when I walked inside the house, I saw darkness. I literally saw darkness. And it wasn't only because the whole house was full of smoke, but because I began to accept the idea that nothing good could ever come out of me. My grandma came. I stayed with my grandma. She came home. She was frustrated. She was angry. And she would say things like, "How could you be so careless?" And in my mind, I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I know, I'm careless." So as a normal 16-year-old girl, growing up in a country like Zimbabwe, you are expected to write your national exams. I wrote my national exams, and I had very good results. I was surprised. My family was surprised. The people who knew me better were shocked. And questions like, "How did this happen?" would come out. Well, I know what happened. What happened was all the negative energy that I had, all the anger, all the bitterness that I had, I channeled it into my studies. And then I brought good results. Meaning that anything negative, channeled very well, it can produce something positive. Now, when I later went to high school, I was unstoppable. I began joining clubs. I began joining sports. You know, I'm not even a sporty person, but I was literally everywhere. But it did not mean that I stopped making those mistakes. I continued to make those mistakes, but I learned to embrace and learn from my mistakes. You know, I remember one time I was asked to present a speech on benevolence, and it was one of the school events, prize-giving day, and there was a guest who was invited, a very well-recognized man, statesman. He was well-recognized, and one of the tasks I was given was to appreciate the guest of honor. So I did my speech. I wrote it down, I recited it, I even presented it in front of the school, in front of teachers. It was good. But that minute, I walked on that stage. I forgot everything. The speech went out. I think I even started preaching right at that stage. And the worst part was, I forgot the name of the guest of honor. Now, appreciating the guest of honor, I said the name of the person that I last spoke to before I went on stage. You know, I was the joke of the whole week. Students laughed at me real hard. But that did not weigh me down. At one point, I even started laughing with them. You know, I even went on to ask for more platforms to speak, but they did not give me those platforms. They thought I wasn't ready. But the fire that was burning inside of me didn't tell me that I wasn't ready. I applied for a bigger, more platform called Marindra Junior Council. Now, Marindra Junior Council is a group of students from different schools in the small town of Marindra. And one of the things that they're supposed to be doing is representing children under the age of 18 to the senior council and being involved in things like fighting for children's rights and all that kind of things. So I was always outspoken in the August House. They call it the August House, the council. I was outspoken. I remember initiating things like awareness campaign on drug abuse, and lots of people started to notice the confidence that was in me. You know, I was promoted from being just a junior councillor to being the ambassador of the junior council. You know, I remember representing the Marondra Junior Council on bigger platforms like the National Budget Initiation. That platform was one of the biggest platforms that I ever stood. And it was amazing. We did exceptionally well. And I was later promoted from being just the ambassador to being the Marondra Junior Town Clerk. Now, you know, I walked with confidence. I still remember at school, I had my own walk. And this confidence was just burning in me. And it wasn't only because of the confidence, but because I was the only kid. I was the only kid with the cream blazer, with colors of the Marondra. I needed to finance my studies. So I started working for the institution that I was enrolled in. I had a lot of sleepless nights. Sometimes I would sleep for 3 hours, which was difficult. And right before my exams, I was admitted. I was supposed to have I had a surgery on tonsillectomy. Now, lots of people thought I was going to give up. I was just going to fall out. But to be honest with you, giving up was not an option for me. That moment was a moment for me of taking bigger action. I walked into that exam room not feeling well, sick, tired, everything. But when I came out feeling like a winner. And guess what? I graduated. I graduated with a personal and professional diploma at the age of 19. And when I came here to study for my degree in accounting, I felt that I had a burden in my heart. I felt that there were children who were in situations like ours, or in even worse situations. I started Development of the Child. Development of the Child is an organization which is just meant to help kids boost their confidence in a way of expressing themselves through talent. I strongly believe if we are able to bring out the best that's in a child at a younger age, we bring out leaders, which is what this world needs. I started with a team of 10 people, very passionate guys, goal-oriented guys, action-oriented guys. We had English lessons for kids with cancer and kids with parents with cancer. We worked with one of the biggest charity organizations in North Cyprus, Cancer Hastelery. We also had football matches with kids from SOS Village. And let me tell you, the kids enjoyed doing that. And we noted exceptional talent that we are in the process of nurturing. Now, I enjoy doing that. Let me picture my life, or the other people who were in situations like ours, or who were in situations like ours, with $100 note. $100 note, a typical Zimbabwean farmer gets after selling his grapes. Now, like any other man, they would go to small clubs called shebeens. There they would drink, get drunk, have all kinds of fun, sleep with women, you know. And this man, he takes his $100 note, he puts it in his pocket, and then he drinks, he gets drunk. And then another woman notices the $100 note. She takes it. She actually steals it, actually. And then she runs. While she's on the run, she realizes that she has been drinking, mixing drinks, and then she starts having a stomach ache. She goes in the bush, does her business there, and then she mistakes a tissue for the $100 note. And then she leaves it there. And then another man, as he was walking by, he notices the $100 note, picks it up, washed it cautiously, rinsed it, blows it, makes it clean. And then he goes and buys himself a very nice and strong bicycle. Now notice this. The $100 note, it passed through a drunk man. It passed through a thief. It passed through the worst. But it did not lose its value. Until it was channeled in safer hands, it bought something of more value. I myself, I walked through feeling less about myself. I walked through bad and low self-esteem. I passed through embarrassment, but I did not lose my value. Instead, I bought something of more value in helping other people as well. Let me put it like my mentor would always tell me. He would say, Tanya, never lose confidence in yourself. Because if you do, you leave others with no choice but to lose confidence in you too. If you have an idea, don't think too much. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just start taking little action towards it. Be confident in it, and everything will work for good. Thank you.